Hi, this week's Parsha is Parshat Eikev, and it has in it the second part of the paragraph of the Shema that we say a couple times a day. And it's strange because the first paragraph of Shema is in last week's Parsha. But what's interesting that puts them both together is at the end of each paragraph is the phrase "Uchetavtam al MEZUZAH beitecha ubisharecha," that you should write these on the MEZUZAH and put them on your home, so where you dwell. And that actually puts them together. So today is an interesting day. It's my daughter's first day at college, and I took her there to registration and orientation. And I was reading last week how there was a custom in the Middle Ages that people used to have a walking stick and then have a mezuzah in the walking stick. So why? So if you understand what's going on in Shema, maybe this can explain it. So the first paragraph of Shema has v'ahavta, you should love God with everything that you have and everything. You should have this love for God, and it goes through when you get up, when you go back to sleep. Everything is about God, which is a very kind of meta concept of love of God. It's not something that's so tangible, but God says at the end of that paragraph, write this down, put it on the door of your house. When you go into your home, you should think about love of God. What about when you go out of the house? That's going to be a little bit different. And that has a more of a physical thing in the second paragraph of Shema, which is what happens outside. If you do the mitzvot, God brings the rain, the crops grow. If you don't do the mitzvot, it brings famine, and it's all bad things. So I think the evolution of this idea of the stick was that the mezuzah is like a force field. And so in the home, that's one type of force field. It's not only like a protection, like it protects you from bad things, but it protects you from yourself. So that when you're in the house, that's one way that you can connect to a God, is something internal. But when you're outside and you need maybe a different type of protection from yourself, that happens with that walking stick. So but not the walking stick, but the walking stick is a reminder. So when you're outside, God says at the end of that whole paragraph, write it on your mezuzah. So really today the idea is when you leave your house, you look at the mezuzah and you have that sense of protectedness, the same as when you go in. But I just thought it's interesting that you actually now when you say Shema can realize there's a metaphysical connection between both paragraphs. First is the love of God in the home, and then you have the physicalness of how you relate to God out of the home. So have a good Shabbat. Thanks.